Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, May 17th, and this is the search news we covered over the Search Engine Roundtable at SERoundtable.com. First up, we thought there were some Google algorithm updates last Friday, which we reported to you on the last week's video, but Google told us no, there were no changes, no search algorithm changes related to like core updates or any infrastructure changes that some people were thinking. Also, Google told us that there's nothing related to the GoogleBot change. It has no impact directly on that, and I'll get into that a little bit more later. But Google did not confirm any of those updates that we thought that happened. Related to GoogleBot, obviously we discussed that Google released an evergreen GoogleBot last week, which was very big news. But Google said it's been out for a while, actually. Back in November, Google said 10% of indexing was over this new GoogleBot. And then they rolled it out like 10%, then it was like 1%, 10%, 25%, etc. They rolled it out like that over the past several months. So even like a month ago, it was probably at 90% indexing over this new GoogleBot. We didn't notice because the user agent didn't change, although some people noticed Google testing it by seeing what it was actually crawling and indexing and rendering. That being said, because of that, I doubt any algorithm or shift changes or even bugs are related to anything we saw related to this GoogleBot. But again, it did roll out over several months not starting, but just as a benchmark, in November of last year, 10% of indexing was done over this new evergreen GoogleBot. And I asked, could this possibly be related that the new GoogleBot was released and all those April bugs around indexing and whatever? And Martin Split and John Mueller said absolutely not. Said it's a fair question, but it's not related at all to the new GoogleBot. Google announced a lot of changes in the ads this week. They had their Marketing Live Summit, or whatever you want to call it, this week, and they announced a lot of Google ad-related topics. I'm going to just cover the higher-level stuff. Discover ads. So on the Google mobile homepage, where you see the Discover feed, the Google mobile app, et cetera, iOS, Android, YouTube feed, etc., Gmail, social promotion tabs, you will now see ads in that Discover feed. So the first time, not only are you going to be seeing content on the Google homepage on mobile, you'll also see ads within that content. And also Google launched gallery ads. We saw these before. A few months ago, Google testing this where they actually show larger image ads in search, which you can actually swipe through to get large image ads in search. Showcase shopping ads with more personalization on local inventory and a better checkout process, more app deep linking in Google Ads, and also Google redesigned the Google Shopping, which now includes Google Express. So lots of things over there. SEOs are really not happy about some of these things. We'll discuss a little bit later. Other news is that sometime, I think last month, Google updated a blog post from, I think 10 months ago, where Google said they're going to be changing the Google image search referral URL from www.google.com to images.google.com, so you can better track in your analytics packages where the source of your traffic is coming specifically from Google Images. That is not happening anymore. Google posted an update, I believe sometime last month, didn't tell anybody about it. AJ Co noticed it and basically said, after testing and further consideration, we've determined that the best place to measure query and click traffic from Google Images is in Google Search Console Performance Report. Accordingly, we will continue to use the www and their appropriate TLDs, and they're not going to go ahead and provide images.google.com as a source anymore. There's the update you can see from AJ Co's post. Very sad to see that. Also, if you have updated your analytics to prepare for that, remove it. It's a waste of time. Google's not doing that. Google said, although they do index and rank content in hidden tabs, which they've been saying for the past couple of years now, Google won't necessarily show the hidden content behind tabs or expandable areas in the search result snippets, because when a user sees that content in the search snippet, according to Google, say they should be able to see that by default. And you won't see it unless you click to expand that content. Because of that, Google might not show it in the search result snippets, and John Mueller said that in last week's video. Google's Martin Split released his first SEO myth-busting video, which really didn't contain much myth-busting, but whatever. And he was asked, what could developers do? The top 3 things developers could do to help improve their search rankings. And he said content, metadata, titles and descriptions, and site performance and optimization. He did not mention links, meta description specifically is not a ranking factor. So in any event, there was a lot of controversy around those top three things, why he said those three things, no, why he didn't say other three things. And he specifically said afterwards, no, this is not about ranking factors. This is about what he thinks developers could do to help improve the rankings. And most developers are going to sit there and write meta descriptions or titles, are going to go ahead and build links and so forth. But it's very interesting to hear him say that. And I guess he will keep doing these SEO myth-busting videos. So like I said before, SEOs are really, really not happy that Google is doing certain things around ads. One is the Discover ads. So on the homepage, again, Google is showing ads for the first time. It's really a change in how Google has acted historically. And also these large image ads, search ads in mobile. Again, pushing down the organic results and so forth. So SEOs are really not happy. I posted a bunch of SEOs feedback in the post. So if you want to read that, definitely take a look at that. But that's not changing no matter how unhappy you are. And searchers are now seeing, I'm not seeing it, but if you go to your Google mobile homepage or you go to your Google app and you scroll through the Discover feed, you may see ads in the Discover feed itself. I don't see it. This guy in India does see it. I personally don't see it, but it should be rolling out, I guess, now if you soon. Martin Split tested based on SEOs asking, could Google bot now handle post requests? And I'm sorry, this SEO test proves that the new Googlebot is live. So, of course, like we said last week, the evergreen Googlebot is still using the user agent 41, not 74. Google will be updating that at some point and give us a heads up that they're updating it. But there's multiple SEO tests being done to say, hey, Google is actually rendering and indexing the right thing using the new Googlebot as opposed to the old. So that's nice to hear. Googlebot does support simple post requests. So if you are specifically asking Google to do certain things with post requests, I believe they did this before, but the question was, does Google support fetch or XML HTTP requests, post requests? And Martin Split thought initially no, but he did a test and showed in this results that they do go ahead and load and render content from post requests. Google said crawl budgets and delays have nothing at all to do with the size, the physical size of the page. So if this page itself is like 5 megabytes to load, that won't reduce the crawl budget of the site. It's all about the number of resources that crawler has to access on your domain name. And like obviously the resource and request that is made is what it's about when it comes to crawl budget. Stephen Levy was complaining about how Google search results are ranked. He's saying Google way too overrates freshness as a ranking signal, and Danny Sullivan went in and had to defend that, and he said he's going to look into specific examples of where there are issues. But Stephen Levy here said, dear Google, your search engine overrates freshness as a signal. Searching for key info on subject X, you get a dozen of redundant results on recent issues, and you have to go to pages before finding much more important information from 2 to 3 years back. Now, Stephen Levy is a very big-time, well-respected reporter, so it obviously caught the attention of Google, and Google actually responded to that information. And like I said, Google also said a lot of people, SEOs out there, like to delete pages, old pages, and John Mueller said just don't blindly delete old pages. Make sure to look at them, see if they have any impact and so forth, but don't blindly delete them. That's good advice, of course. And we discussed earlier that Google released their first SEO myth-busting video. It didn't really have much myth-busting in there. It was just basically a 101 on SEO. So hopefully future ones have myth-busting, because it's really exciting to listen to some things that Google will myth-bust. Google says they should be able to fix the cache date bug soon. I reported this a couple days ago. It's still not fixed, so hopefully they'll fix it soon. But Google's Danny Sullivan said we're aware, and we expect that it will be corrected soon. Again, it has no impact on indexing or ranking. Just don't worry about it. But it should be fixed soon. Sorry. Google Ads launched a new performance planner. This performance planner will pretty much give you ideas on what changes might go ahead and impact your spend amounts. It lets you create plans and see forecasts for your campaigns. It lets you explore forecasts by adjusting different campaign settings, and it quickly lets you implement changes prescribed by your plan. So it's another tool that advertisers could use in Google Ads. Google announced they're consolidating their Google travel tools into Google Trips, so hotels, flights, weather, things to do, and a lot more information around trip information, packages, deals, and so forth are all built into google.com/travel, which they're calling Google Trips. Bing has open sourced one of their popular algorithms in search, specifically what they're calling their space partition tree and graph, SPTAG, which is like a vector search related algorithm, which basically helps algorithms sift through billions and billions of documents and information and surface that information really, really quickly in milliseconds. So that's really cool to see Bing do that. And Danny Sullivan did his first Google ranking fair. It's basically like a science fair for Googlers. And in that ranking fair, he set up his booth. Let me just show you what it looks like. Basically like a science project with a poster board and so forth. And in there, he actually discussed specifically webmaster concerns on the ecosystem, specifically like voice assistant stuff, and webmasters wanting more control over their various things like site links and text and titles and snippets. And a lot more information in there. So 0 clicks, hiding results, and all that other stuff where the webmasters and SEOs are upset with how the search interface is changing, which might impact them and hurt them going forward. In any event, thanks so much for listening to this Search Buzz video recap. Just a heads up, I will be at XMX London Tuesday and Wednesday of next week in London. I should also be there on Thursday, leaving Thursday afternoon. And I will be here to do the video recap on Friday. I don't think my coverage will change much throughout the week. So anybody in London, hope to see you guys there. And thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz, and this is Search News we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable, SEOroundtable.com over the past week. Everyone have a great weekend. I'll see you guys next. Bye.